Hey YouTube! So, I am here finally to record the season finale of The Haves and the Have-Nots, Season 4, Episode 11, In Pursuit of Prey, spelled P-R-E-Y, as if they're searching for somebody, which we all know they're searching for Candice. But, before I even get started, I need a word with Tyler Perry because I always feel some type of way after the finale episodes, and I understand, like, that's how you should feel. You should be, like, literally left gasping for breath. But this finale, the ending, was just not my favorite, okay? It was, like, freaking sad, and I wanted to cry, okay? And it was like, come on. Like, there are a million different ways you could have ended it where we still would have been gasping for breath, and it was just like, I have no words. Like, the screen went black, and that is how I felt. Like, that was the type of mood I was in. So, whatever the case, I will get to that part. So, let's just get to it. So, the episode starts with, where it left off, with War just staring at Erica and David while they're getting it in. He looks really just like displeased by this whole view, as if, and at this point you're like, does he know Erica? Whatever. So he walks away, kind of like disappears in a sense. And Erica is like tapping David like, we gotta stop. He's like, whoa, what? She's like, no, we just have to stop. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You're just so amazing. I just catch myself acting like a teenage boy. I really should have had more control of myself. I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's just, we're just going too fast. Things are moving too fast. I didn't expect for it to get to this point this quick. And he's like, no, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to disrespect you. And then he was like, I'm going to go. She was like, yeah, that would be good. And he's like getting his clothes on, getting ready to leave out. And then she was like, I hope you're not mad at me. He was like, no, I'm not at all. Like, definitely not. She was like, okay, good. You know, things were just moving a little too fast. And he's like, that's fine. And she's like, I'll call you tonight. He was like, I hope so. I look forward to your call. Whatever. Then he gets his clothes and disappears out and leaves. Okay, this whole time we're thinking, where in the world did War disappear to? War comes walking out the closet. I mean, War, it's like he's like moving through walls. Like, I didn't even hear the closet door shut. Whatever the case, War comes out and is like, looks so pissed off to the highest level of festivity, staring at Erica. So at this point I'm thinking, do they have to know each other? And then it cuts out and goes to commercial. Next thing you know, the show comes back on. He's walking towards her. He's like, I hate seeing things like that. And I'm like, whoa. Y'all know each other? Like, are you serious? Now, I've always felt some type of way about Erica because I didn't understand why. It didn't make sense to me why she would be so loyal to Candice. They don't have any type of, like, family relationship. They're not best friends. Why would she be, quote unquote, looking out for Candice so much? Plus, she's the one that gave Candice the papers for the mortgage, and the papers were not legit papers. So I'm just really, there's always been some uncertainty there. Then when she talks to Candice, she doesn't ever tell her, like, the full truth. And Erica was also the one who was really, like, the first time War was after Candice and he was trying to get money, Erica was really like, hey, I know War and his reputation. Like, I don't know him personally, but I know what he did to my sister or my sister's friend or something like that, and he is serious business. Like, he's not one to be messing with. Like, I know as much as you hate to mortgage your properties, you're going to have to do that because he's not going to stop. Like, he will kill you, and I'm concerned about you. She was the one that was really putting that bug in Candice's ear. So now it makes so much sense because come to find out, they're together. This is why War is, like, jealous seeing her with another man. He was like, I didn't want to see that. And she was like, well, look, I didn't tell you to come here. You came here. Like, this is my job, okay? He is a mark. He said, well, who is he? A mark, okay? That's all you need to know. Like, I was working. You knew who I was before we got together. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Okay, so whatever the case, War is like, where's Candice? You said she was here. That's why I'm here. She was like, she was here, but she's not here anymore. I don't know. I can call her. And then so she calls. Of course, Candice doesn't pick up the phone. And she's like, here, come get in bed with me. He was like, I'm not getting in the bed with you. You got that man all over you. And she was like, okay, well, I'll get in the shower. Come get in the shower. He was like, no, I'm not doing that either. I'm not doing anything until Candice is dead. And then she's like, okay, just calm down. Like, I will make sure that I can get in touch with her. Then his cell phone rings and somebody's like giving him a hint as to where she is, the Fountain Drop Hotel. So he's like, okay, I'll be there. I'm on my way. And she's like, well, you know, everything will be fine. Let me know when the deed is done. I can practice my sad face. And he's like, I don't ever want to see that dude here again. Who is that dude again? He was like, he's a mark. Actually, he's a job that Candice gave to me. And this guy, if I play my cards right, it's going to take a while, but he's worth millions. And I'll make sure that I get all of that money. And he's the guy that hired somebody to con Candice out of her millions of dollars. So we'll get everything back from her. We'll suck her dry. I mean, and she's pretty much at the point of giving up. So we got this. I mean, that's fine. Just let me know when the deed is done so I can practice my sad face. And he's like, cool. Erica, you're a character that's gonna have to die. I mean, like, you're not like a great like villain character where we want you to die but we need you. But you're a freaking traitor, so you're gonna have to die. Like, she's gonna have to find you out, and Candice is gonna have to be the one to do it. So whatever the case, then it goes back to Candice and before we leave off that scene, War was like, I have to get her because she set me up. And then Erica was like, actually, no, Mitch actually set you up. Like, she actually told me that herself. And then he was like, I don't care. She's dying. Okay, whatever. So now we go back to the room with Charles and Candice when Candice has just exposed like the recording device to him, saying that she got everything like on tape. So she's looking at him like, man, you're really quiet now. And he's like, how much of that did you tape? She said, everything. And I have video as well. And he's like, are you serious? And he was like, who hired you to do this? So you have to be working for somebody. She was like, I have to be working for somebody. You don't think I'm capable of doing this on my own? He was like, actually, you're very smart and you're very good. She was like, I know. I'm in this by myself. And then he was like, I was warned by my opponents that somebody would try something like this, but yet against my better judgment, I let my guards down and I let you in, and now look what's happened. I mean, I'm trying to make history here, okay? I'm trying to change the world, and you're holding this over my head. And then she says, well, you know what? This is going to be very fun. He's like, what are you talking about? She was like, you're going to go and campaign and do all your little presidential stuff, and then you're going to come back here drunk, and I'll be able to have my way with you. This will be fun. And he's like, no, I'm not. She was like, no, you will. And then she throws the recording at him, and he's like, you're seriously giving this to me? Like, how many more copies of this do you have? She was like, I don't know. And then he's like, Candice, I'm a really good guy. I'm just a nice guy. I'm trying to do good things in the world. She's like, yep, I know. I know your kind, okay? You like power out in public. You want to be the man in charge in public. But behind closed doors, and especially inside of the bedroom, you want a dominant woman. You want a powerful woman. You want a woman who is going to dominate you and basically make you weak at the knees and fall for her every command. And that is who I am, and that's what we're going to do. So actually, get to stripping. And oddly enough, he really bends down to kiss her. Like, she really, like, analyzed him fully and read to him exactly who he is, and he bowed down and did it. Now, I don't know if Candice even has any more copies of this recording, or even if she has any copies, or if that was a legit copy, but whatever this is, either she's going to have fun with it, or she's going to take it to the next level. So, whatever the case, Now we go to Jeffrey at his mom's house. So Anna from the recovery center is texting Jeffrey, letting Jeffrey know that Wyatt has contacted them and they're on their way to go help him. Okay, great. So then Melissa gets out of bed, snatches Jeffrey's phone, and she's like, "Who is Justin? That must be the police officer. That must be your boy toy." And he's like, none of your business. I'm not talking to you. I don't like you. And then she's like, "You don't have any pictures of him in here. Gosh, you don't have any pictures of anybody in here. Why are you so mad at him? Why don't you go see him? I told you to take my car. My car's quiet." And then Jeffrey's still not saying anything. He's like, "Look, I'm not talking to you. I don't like you." And so she's like, what could you have been mad at him for? Well, I used to date this guy in my past who, he was actually very controlling. He was really jealous, and really it was just bad for us. It didn't work out. Now, I'm assuming maybe this Justin guy, did he see a text message in your phone or something from Wyatt and got jealous and intimidated? Yeah, that's never going to work. So she's actually really on his street, but he's refusing to talk to her. And so, whatever. He's like ignoring her. Girl, bye. So next thing you know, the scene jumps to Wyatt's house, and Anna from the recovery center comes in with the admissions person and a doctor, and they're like, we're here to help you. It's gonna be $1,000 a day and $10,000 for the initial visit. And he's like, great, I'll give you my credit card. She's like, okay. And she said, do you know somebody named Jeffrey Harrington? And he said, yeah. How do you know that? And then she said, well, he's been contacting us every couple of hours to see if you contacted us. And I'm like, Jeffrey, you're such a good guy. I mean, you really are. You really, like, not even on, like, a romantic level. Like, you really love this guy. Like, he's, like your own, like, flesh and blood. Everybody need a friend like Jeffrey, okay? Ride or die, for real. So, next thing you know, like, Wyatt, he's looking like real shocked, like, man, I know, like, Jeffrey loved me and cared for me, but dang, like, okay, great. So they're asking him what drugs he's on so they can know how to help him. He's like, shoot, I don't know, I'm on everything. Like, I just overdosed a couple of days ago. Like, I was just in the hospital. I don't know. I just need something to help me. Okay, so then it goes back to Hanna showing up to the hotel. Benny is in his chair in front of the door because he thought he was blocking Candice from getting out, but we all know she went out the window. So when Hanna comes in, it wakes up Benny. They look around. They notice Candice isn't there. Hanna is in shock, but then Hanna turns to Benny and she's like, did you kill him? Did you kill Quincy? He's like, no, what are you talking about? She was like, the police told me that 2 people killed him, a man and a woman. So did you do it? He was like, what? Why would you go to the police? You really went to the police? You turned her in? He was like, yeah. And Hanna was like, yeah, maybe you need to turn yourself in too. He was like, I didn't do it. You know what? Give me your car keys. I need to use your car so I can go find my sister. And she's like, no, you're not using my car. You're not going nowhere in my car. And so he's like, cool, I'm going to call Mitch. So perfect timing for Mitch to be out of jail, just in his car driving around. Benny was like, look, I need your help. I need you to come here to the Pound Drop Hotel and come and get me. I need to go find Candice. Candice is left. So Mitch is like, cool, I'm on my way. So next thing you know, Candice is in her hotel room by herself. She's checking her voicemail. She has 3 voice messages. First voicemail from Jeffrey letting her know that, oh, your mom wouldn't snitch to the police. And Candice was like, yeah, I figured, which is why I wasn't going to sit at the hotel for them to come pick me up. Okay, second of all, it's Erica, second voicemail. Erica, hey girl, I was just trying to see what room you were in. Call me back. Traitor, Judas. Okay. Then the third one would be Benny. Where are you, Candice? Where are you? I need to find you. Call me back. Call me back. So she's like, oh, can't deal with this right now. Right after she finished checking her voicemails, then Jim Pryor comes calling. He's like, hey, I want to see you, Candice. And then she was like, who is this? He was like, you know who this is. This is Jim. And then she was like, still don't know. How much money did I get from you? And then he's like, $7 million. And then she was like, no, the first time. He was like, $100,000 in the pretty red car. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know you. Yeah, what do you want? He's like, I miss you. And then she's like, no, you don't. He was like, I want to see you. I mean, I know you don't really need, like, money from me because you got that covered. And she's like, no, you know that I don't have any because you had the guy from the bank take my money back. And he was like, Oh, yeah, you figured that out. How'd you figure that out? And then she was like, that's not important. And he's like, well, whatever the case, I really do miss you. I want to see you. You don't have to do any work. I'll do all the work. I just want a night alone with you. What are your rates? She's like, $10 million. And he's like, come on now. Give me your escort rate, not your blackmail rate. And she's like, is there a difference? And he's like, yeah, with you, probably not. And then he's like, really, I want to see you. She was like, do you think I'm stupid? I'm not going anywhere near you. I know you're trying to set me up. He's like, I'm really not. She's like, okay, you're going to have to come better than that. Bye, Jim, and gets off the phone. Okay, so then Mitch finally shows up to the hotel, the motel, Fountain Drop, and Hanna won't let Benny leave. She was like, no, you're not going nowhere. Mitch, are you in on this too? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, did you kill that boy? He was like, kill somebody? No. Is that what you had all that plaster and lime for that one day? Yeah, tell me what's going on. And then Hanna like snaps and she slaps Benny and she starts crying hysterically, and Benny has to like calm her down, like, Mama, calm down. I didn't kill anybody. You need to sit down. Everything is going to be okay. I'm going to go get Candice. This will all be worked out. And like it worked really well because she calmed down. She was just sitting at the table and he walks out with Mitch. On his way out, he hits Mitch like, stupid. Like, you done got all stirred up. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. So next thing you know, they're in the hallway and he's like, you looking for Candice? There's no point if the police are going to be looking for you too. Like, you need a lawyer, like, now. You need to call a lawyer. And then he was like, I know a lawyer. And he was like, well, call him. He was like, it's not a him. It's that crazy woman, Veronica Harrington. He was like, well, whatever the case, you need to call her. So he's hesitant to, but he decides to call her. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. She pretends like she doesn't know who he is when he picks up the phone. He was like, you know who this is, Benny. And then so she's like, oh, okay, what do you want? He was like, I'm gonna need some legal advice. Can I meet with you? And she's like, okay, just come over to the house. Okay, so he leaves. Next thing you know, Jim gets off the phone with Candice and he walks out of his office inside of his house. When he walks out, it is bare. Like, not a piece of furniture, lint, nothing in sight. Like somebody wiped out the house and also cleaned it like spick and span at that. Like, there was no remnants of nothing left behind. Next thing you know, he decides to call Catherine down there. She's like, come down there like a G, like, yeah, and so what? I don't care. And he was like, how did you even get all this stuff moved? Like, did you have professionals or something? Like move it like in like the snap of a finger? And she was like, look, it's all gone and I will sell this house right from underneath you too. I told you I didn't want you here. I told you to leave. You keep testing me, okay? I have like no filter, no fuse at this point. I will sell this house for $5,000. I will give it away to charity. I don't want to be with you. I want a divorce, and that is that, okay? I already have one kid that has passed away. Another one that I thought was dead, but now we can't find him, and he could be overdosing again. I'm done with you, okay? Out. Done. And then so he's like, Catherine, like, baby, we need each other right now, okay? Like, if they find a body, we're going to need to stick together. And she's like, and if they find a body, we'll be apart. And she walks out the door, I'm getting a divorce. And he's like, Kate. I'm like, oh, now you calling her by her nickname. Now that she done got you by your cojones. Whatever the case, he decides to call David. And he's like, David, you're not going to believe this. David is down at the bar drinking at the hotel. He's like, Catherine has walked away with all of my stuff. That was his little For Colored Girls line. And she was like, David was like, what? He was like, yeah, no, she wants a divorce and blah, blah, blah. I mean, just a long story, but yeah. And then David's like, you need me to come to you? He was like, no, nothing's here. I'll come to you. I'll have a drink with you. We could celebrate both our divorces if my car is even still in the garage. And he's like, cool. Okay, so next thing you know, Benny arrives at Veronica's house. When he pulls up, Jeffrey notices, like, he looks out the window and notices that Benny's walking in. At that same time, Melissa's phone rings, but it's really late, so she's like, why is my mom calling me this late? Which we all kind of had a feeling why her mom was calling. So she disappears into, like, the bathroom. Jeffrey goes to listen at the top of the stairs. And so when Benny walks in, Veronica says the first thing you need to do is apologize for being so rude to me. And then he apologizes. And then he says, okay, so I have a friend, blah, blah, blah. He's basically saying the whole story to her, what happened. He has a friend that is wrapped up in this mess, but he didn't kill the person. Well, the friend didn't kill the person, but the friend got rid of the body and left like a remnant of their belongings behind. So what would she suggest this friend do? And she's like, does this have anything to do with Quincy Maxwell? And he's like, look, it's a friend. So whatever the case, she's like, well, I suggest that your friend needs to help himself by taking off his clothes. He's like, no, not all that. And she was like, well, your friend is going to help himself by having his way with my body. And he's like, look, I didn't come here for this. Like, this is just a mess. Like, I'm out. Peace. And then, so she's like, okay, have it your way. So then she starts walking up the stairs. And she sees Jeffrey eavesdropping. So she's like, shouldn't you be asleep? And Jeffrey is like, shouldn't you be ashamed? And then she's like, no, I'm heterosexual. I'm like, Veronica in these one-liners, like, she's always coming for Jeffrey. So then she was like, calm down, okay? Benny just gave himself and Candice away as the murderer. So they're like a plan B if plan A doesn't work out. Now, go in that room and go to bed with Melissa. So Jeffrey rolls his eyes and walks away and goes into the room. And he tells her, look, I'm not sleeping on this chair, okay? I'm sleeping in this bed, and that's that. He's being his normal, rude self to her. And then Melissa comes out the room, and she looks normal, but she looks sad. And she lays in the bed next to him, and he's like, and she says, my father died. And Jeffrey, with his rude butt, is like, too bad, I'm tired, and I want to go to sleep. I'm like, Jeffrey, come on now. Like, I know you have more of a heart than that. Like, chill out. And then, so then Melissa starts crying. Next thing you know, Jeffrey is like, why is the bed wet? Did you pee in the bed? Then he, like, moves back the covers, and it's blood everywhere. Now, when Melissa first walked out the bathroom, you didn't see any blood on her. Like, I don't think she cut her arm or anything like that, because you would have seen it on her. I do think, instead, she might have done something to her unborn child, because the whole reason why she was there was for treatment for her dad. Veronica was paying for it. Veronica didn't pay for it that last week because Jeffrey hadn't been home. And so I really think that in Melissa's mind, she's like, look, why am I still here? Why am I doing this? I'm not carrying a baby that nobody wants. And so that's how she, like, retaliated. I think she did something to her unborn child, and that's why there's blood everywhere. Or she could be having a miscarriage. I don't know, because of stress. I don't know. We'll find that out next season. Okay, so Jeffrey's freaking out. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, next thing you know, Mitch and Benny, they go back to the motel. And Mitch is like, we didn't find her. And Hanna was like, yeah, you won't find her unless she wants to be found. Then Hanna was like, look, I asked my boss to find you and Candice a lawyer. Now tell me what happened. And then so Mitch goes ahead and said he buried Quincy's body. And then Hanna was like, did you kill him? And Mitch was like, no. She said, I asked my son. So Benny was like, no, he was already dead. And then Hanna was like, okay, but did you do it? Because the police said it was a man and a woman. It was two people. And so Benny was like, no, Candice and Jeffrey did it. And Hanna was like, I don't believe that. And he was like, yeah, that's what she told me. And then Hannah's like, I don't believe it. I don't even think they talk to each other. I just can't see that happening. I think she's lying to you. Next thing you know, War and his goons bust through the door. And you knew he was coming. It's like, Hanna, like, you put yourself in harm's danger by even going to him. You had to know they were going to follow you. They bust in. They're like, where's Candice? Where's Candice? Where's Candice? And, like, they're tearing up the room. They're fighting and punching, like, Benny and Mitch. Next thing you know, like, Hanna is, like, freaking out and screaming and crying. She gets little Quincy and scoops him up out the bed and runs into the bathroom. So then they're still, like, fighting, going back and forth. Next thing you know, they pull out a gun. You knew it's only a matter of time for that to happen. Like, they don't fight fair. So next thing you know, they start shooting at him. Well, Benny and Mitch are like dodging all the bullets, and they go over by the bed, and which was kind of stupid because the bathroom is right there, right where Hanna and the baby are, but there was nowhere else they could have hide it. They could have hid. So they went by the bed because the mattress could be used as a shield. So they're like lifting up the mattress over them, and they're like moving out the way to make sure they don't get shot by like a bullet, a flying bullet. So next thing you know, once Warren them shot enough, they know people have probably alerted the police by now. So they dip, like they run out the room. Next thing you know, as soon as they run out, Benny gets up like he's running towards them, and Mitch is like, calm down, it's over, they're gone, like chill out. And then so Benny's like, mama. She's not saying anything. He knows they went into the bathroom, so he's like real hesitant to open the door. He is freaking out at this moment. He opens up the door, and Hanna is standing there, barely walking out. She's bloody, and little Quincy is bloody, but little Quincy's body looks limp, like it was like a fatal shot, like he's dead. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, so I'm gonna hope for the best. This little boy has been through a lot, so I hope he's not dead. I hope that they have time to get him to the hospital. I know that Hannah's not dead. Maybe she was shot. Maybe she has time to get to the hospital, but this is insane. So we shall see what happens next season. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out at mrsblogaholic.com and check out my Tyler Perry videos for If Loving You Is Wrong. I will be starting to record that season as well. Okay, thanks. Bye.